Fate's worse than death in horror movies. By Cineporty or Cineporty. Let's tap in. Let's see what we got. If you enjoy the reaction content at any point, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We are on the road to 500 subscribers. Y'all are loving the content, and I love making the content. So let's keep this relationship going.
Someone else. In The Ring, journalist Rachel Keller investigates a mysterious videotape rumored to kill anyone who watches it exactly 7 days later.
Have y'all ever sat down and watched The Ring? I think I tried to watch it when I was younger, like not when it came out, but like years later after you hear about it. And it's just like the concept to me, right? I love scary movies now. Like I always love scary movies, but like the concept to me now, why I didn't really watch it back then, it was like, all right, the movie is based off people who watch a videotape, and then after you watch the videotape, you're cursed to essentially you die. Like I think you get like a week to live. Why the fuck would I watch this movie? Like I genuinely like horror movies used to have so much aura to me where I used to always think like they were built on true stories, or you know what I'm saying, this came from somewhere. Like obviously a nigga ain't sit down in a dark room and just make this up. Somebody somewhere watched the videotape and then that nigga died and he heard about it and he was like, okay, I'm not gonna watch that tape, but I am gonna make a movie about it. But yeah, the concept of this shit is kind of like, you know what I'm saying, don't watch the tape, stupid, but like, you know, it's a movie, so they do, and then you pay the price for it.
Rachel begins experiencing terrifying visions while desperately searching for a way to break the curse before time runs out. Her investigation leads her to Samara Morgan, a young girl with terrifying supernatural abilities who was murdered years earlier and thrown into a well. Believing she's finally put Samara's spirit to rest by recovering her body, Rachel thinks the nightmare is over.
Nah.
But when her ex-husband Noah is killed by Samara, Rachel realizes the horrifying truth. The curse never ends. The only way to survive is by making someone else watch the videotape and passing the curse to them instead.
But you know what's fucked up though? The boyfriend died and he probably didn't even watch the tape. He like, this is like some scary movies are so fucking flawed, gang. It's just like if you're not the main character, you're not gonna die. But it's like if you're close to the main character, if like even if you did nothing wrong, you didn't watch the tape, you didn't talk about the tape. The only thing you tried to do was help your fiance. You tried to help your girl get over this shit, gang. You know how that universe pays you back? Death. You know what I'm saying? You get slimed out.
Herself by helping her son create another copy, ensuring Samara's deadly cycle continues. It's a terrifying and sad ending because the curse offers no real escape. Survival simply means sacrificing another innocent person. Family film. Discovering the truth can sometimes be the worst decision you could ever make. In Sinister, true crime writer Ellison Oswalt moves his family into a house where a brutal murder recently occurred, hoping the case will inspire his next best-selling book. While searching the attic, he discovers a box of old home movies showing the gruesome deaths of multiple families across several decades.
See, and that'd be the problem. Niggas are nosy, right? And like a lot of horror movies start like this, especially like the ones with the families and stuff like that. You move into this janky ass old home, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to move there except the dad, you know what I'm saying, or except the mom, the one parent, you know what I'm saying, that move niggas out to the sticks. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing there, nobody in the general vicinity, or it's a weird ass neighborhood. You get to discovering shit about the house.
He uncovers the existence of Bagul, an ancient pagan entity that manipulates children into murdering their own families before taking their souls forever. Horrified, Ellison immediately tries to leave.
Where are we going, Daddy?
We're going home, honey.
Home, like you promised?
Yeah, home, like I promised.
Believing he's finally escaped the curse, but by then, it's already too late. His young daughter Ashley has fallen under Bagul's influence. She murders the entire family before joining the other ghostly children who now serve the demon for eternity. Ellison's obsession with solving the mystery doesn't just cost him his life, it condemns his daughter to an endless existence alongside the very evil he was trying to expose. The Hand. Some horror movie characters die, others become trapped in a nightmare that never truly ends. In Talk to Me, Mia is introduced to a mysterious embalmed hand.
If y'all never seen this shit, gang, before he spoil it, you know what I'm saying, if you gotta cut the video off right here, cut this shit off. Go watch this movie. Like the whole concept of this movie, it just shows you how fucking dumb teenagers are. At least in this universe, they're so stupid. I don't know. For the life of me, I could never see myself going and hanging out with friends, like at a small gathering, a little kickback, and they say, "Oh, y'all know what would be fun? Let's pull out this demonic hand and talk to it." You know what I'm saying? Like I've been in situations where people wanted to go fucking ghost hunting and playing with Luigi boards and shit. Nah, gang, I'm not doing that. I will never do like that's literally how you purposely invite bad things to happen to your life, or you're purposely inviting bad energy to come into your life and just fuck shit up for no reason. For the life of me, I don't understand. And there's people that do that like in real life, gang, where like, you know what I'm saying, you go to a slumber party, or you go to, you know what I'm saying, you hanging out with your friends, and they just, how the fuck do you even come across getting a Luigi board? What made you see that and you know what it is? And it's like, oh, this would be fun. This would be fun to fuck up all my friends' lives. Like I don't understand.
Communicate with spirits by saying a simple phrase and holding on to it. What begins as a thrilling party game quickly turns deadly when Mia becomes obsessed with using the hand, convinced one of the spirits she's seeing is her deceased mother. As the supernatural forces grow stronger, Mia loses her grip on reality, allowing a malicious spirit to manipulate her into believing she must sacrifice a young boy named Riley.
He needs to die.
By the film's conclusion, Mia realizes she's been deceived and throws herself in front of a moving car to save Riley, only to die from her injuries. But death isn't the end. Mia awakens in complete darkness, unable to interact with the living world as the people she loves slowly fade away. Moments later, a candle suddenly ignites, a hand reaches out toward her, and Mia realizes she's become one of the trapped spirits herself. Instead of finding peace, she's doomed to spend eternity waiting for strangers to summon her through the cursed hand, becoming part of the very nightmare that destroyed her life. Human walrus. Some horror movie characters die in brutal ways. Others are forced to keep living after losing everything that made them human. In Tusk, podcaster Wallace Brighton travels to Canada hoping to interview an internet celebrity. But after the meeting falls through, he stumbles across an ad from an elderly man named Howard Howe. Promising incredible stories from his adventurous past, Howard invites Wallace to spend the night at his secluded mansion. At first, everything seems harmless, but Wallace soon loses consciousness after Howard secretly...
How the fuck do you fall forward like that? That was just so weird.
Howard reveals the horrifying truth. Obsessed with the walrus that once saved his life at sea, Howard has spent years kidnapping victims and surgically transforming them into human walruses. Wallace undergoes a series of grotesque...
Nah. I've never heard of this fucking movie, but you're meaning to tell me that they see, and this be the problem, gang. These billionaires, these rich ass dudes who live in isolated, secluded areas where you can't contact nobody, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no service. It be these niggas that, you know what I'm saying, be doing these weird ass experiments. What business do you have turning humans into walruses? Like, genuinely. Like, how do you even do that? How does one even want to like
leave him unable to speak, walk, or even recognize himself?
Walruses never cry!
Howard is eventually killed when Wallace impales him, but Wallace has already been transformed beyond repair. Unable to return to society, he's forced to spend the rest of his life trapped inside a wildlife sanctuary, living as the very creature Howard
trapped in a what? Kill this nigga! Oh my God, no. If this was me, fuck you, kill me. Take me off the earth. I can't spend the rest of my life as a human walrus. I cannot do it. This is disgusting. This might be the worst thing we've seen so far.
Someone who survives the entire movie, few horror characters suffer a fate more disturbing than losing their humanity forever. Soul transfer. Sometimes the scariest part isn't dying. It's surviving inside someone else's body forever. In The Skeleton Key, hospice nurse Caroline Ellis takes a job caring for an elderly man named Ben at an isolated Louisiana plantation. As strange events begin happening throughout the house...
At an isolated Louisiana plantation. White woman, why are you there?
Evidence of an ancient hoodoo ritual capable of transferring a person's soul into another body. At first, she dismisses the stories as superstition, but she is being systematically manipulated. The horrifying truth is that the mansion is run by two ancient hoodoo practitioners, Mama Cecil and Papa Justify, who have been stealing young bodies for decades to attain immortality. By the time Caroline arrives, Mama Cecil is already possessing the body of the elderly Violet, while Papa Justify has already taken over the body of the young lawyer, Luke. And the original soul of the young lawyer is tragically trapped inside the paralyzed elderly body of Ben.
Why does it sound like a inverse of Get Out? What I'm saying, like if y'all seen Get Out, y'all is it Get Out? I think it is. But it's like when the family who's mind controlling and putting people under spells and shit, and having other white people steal the black people identity and shit like that. Now this movie came out before that though, so it's like maybe he got inspired by that. That's insanity. Like literally, you got two black fucking voodoo practitioners stealing white people bodies. Call that generational payback.
Leaving the ritual's power, Mama Cecil performs a ceremony on her. Caroline's mind is permanently trapped inside Violet's frail, dying body, while her healthy, young body is stolen by Mama Cecil. Unable to speak or move, Caroline is forced to watch helplessly as her own body walks away, fully aware that she is locked into a fate where a villain lives her life. The Collector. Escaping a serial killer should be the end of the nightmare, but for Arkin, it only makes things worse. At the end of The Collector, Arkin barely survives the sadistic traps of a masked murderer, only to be ambushed and kidnapped before he can reach safety. By the beginning of the collection, Arkin is a traumatized prisoner, locked inside a trunk, while the killer moves him to his next location. He manages a desperate escape during an underground rave, but his trauma is far from over. While recovering in the hospital, Arkin is abducted by a team of mercenaries who force him to navigate the Collector's deadly new lair, proving that surviving the first encounter is only the beginning of a prolonged nightmare. Endless hallway.
So you telling me a nigga went through getting captured by a serial killer to only get captured by mercenaries to get put to work to discover how other people can escape the killer? Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, GG's.
You leave. In Grave Encounters, a paranormal investigation crew locks themselves inside an abandoned psychiatric hospital overnight, expecting to fake a few ghost sightings for their television show.
Have you ever seen anything strange in the past?
Yeah, I saw a ghost over here. It was really scary.
Instead, they discover the building is
It was really scary.
The night progresses, doors disappear, hallways endlessly rearrange themselves, and every attempt to escape leads them right back inside. One by one, the crew members are picked off by violent spirits until only Lance Preston remains. After days of wandering through the impossible maze, starving and desperate, Lance is ultimately cornered by the ghostly remnants of the asylum's doctors. Instead of finding a way out, the film ends with the traumatized, permanently broken Lance staring into the camera, claiming he is better now and can finally go home. It is a chillingly bleak conclusion, proving that the hospital didn't just trap his body, it permanently claimed his mind, leaving him an eternal prisoner of the asylum forever. Endless Neighborhood. Imagine buying your dream home only to discover you'll never be allowed to leave.
And if you ever seen this movie, this is one of my worst fears of all time. It's probably like top 3, top 5, I don't know. But gang, going to a place where the entire neighborhood is exactly the same thing. Everything is the same. There's no differences. Like uniformity, you don't understand how scary uniformity is, gang. This is why I will never live in an HOA. This is why I'll never live in one of them fucking pristine neighborhoods where every house is the same, every layout. Everybody keeps their grass the same length. Everybody drives the same car. The houses are painted the same. Like, gang, you don't understand, and being trapped in that shit and not being able to leave. Oh nah. That's one of my top fears, you know what I'm saying? If I was because it's so realistic. Like, there's places like that literally exist where you go there. There are neighborhoods, gang, and like the shit is so similar. It's so the same. Nothing is different. The people are weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
And Gemma visit a quiet suburban neighborhood
top 5
while searching
movie,
for their
top
first
5
house
movie.
together. After their mysterious real estate agent suddenly disappears, they attempt to drive away, only to find that every road leads directly back to the exact same house. No matter which direction they choose, escape proves impossible. Soon, a baby mysteriously appears on the doorstep alongside one simple instruction: raise the child if you ever want to leave. With no food source besides mysterious daily deliveries and no contact with the outside world, the couple spends years trapped inside the identical neighborhood raising a child that clearly isn't human. As time passes, Tom works himself to death, digging beneath the property searching for answers, while Gemma slowly realizes there was never any chance of escaping. After the couple eventually dies from exhaustion and illness, the inhuman child casually disposes of both bodies before preparing the house for the next unsuspecting couple. Their entire lives become nothing more than another cycle in an endless trap they were never meant to survive. Living Doll. Losing your voice is
Telling you, and that's just, gang, I hate to break it to you, but being an adult, that's what that shit genuinely feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it feels like. You're literally trapped in a system. You know what I'm saying, no matter where you live, you get your first apartment, first house, first townhouse, whatever. You're trapped in a fucking system where it just loops and loops and loops and loops. Obviously, that's a movie, and it's like, it's spiced up to make it scarier than what it actually is. But gang, don't ever go to a place where it's every single house in a row. Like those perfect neighborhoods, gang, that shit is evil. One of the evilest things you can do to yourself while being a human on this earth.
Her entire body is even worse. In dead silence, Jamie Ashton returns to his hometown after his wife is mysteriously murdered by the ghost of ventriloquist Mary Shaw. Determined to uncover the truth, Jamie slowly pieces together the legend surrounding Shaw, learning that she murders anyone who screams after seeing her ghost. As the investigation unfolds, Jamie believes he's finally exposing everything behind the haunting, but the truth is far more disturbing. His father has been dead the entire time, secretly replaced by an incredibly lifelike puppet controlled by Mary Shaw. Before Jamie can react, Mary appears one final time.
Now, who's the dummy?
Transforming him into yet another silent victim. His body joins the growing collection of human puppets that Mary keeps forever, leaving Jamie trapped as part of her twisted performance long after his death. Mirror prison. Escaping the nightmare doesn't always mean that the nightmare is finished with you. In Oculus, siblings Tim and Kaylee reunite years after the supernatural mirror responsible for their parents' deaths tore their family apart. Tim has just been released from a psychiatric hospital after spending over a decade believing he murdered his own father, while Kaylee is determined to prove that the haunted mirror was responsible all along. Together, they carefully document everything, convinced that they can finally destroy the object that ruined their childhood.
The mirror goes right there. And the only thing to prevent that from happening again is our continued survival.
But the mirror constantly manipulates their minds, making them hallucinate until they can no longer tell reality from illusion. Just as they prepare to destroy it, the mirror tricks Tim into believing he's activating one of Kaylee's safety devices. Instead, he accidentally kills his own sister.
I'm telling you, some of these movies I never seen this, but that would have fucked me up. That reminds me of Conjuring movie where they got the mirror off the street and it was literally a haunted mirror, and I forgot the premise of it, but even that scene where she was eating the apple and then she didn't even know it was an apple, she started taking glass out. That happened to one of the girls in that Conjuring movie, where it's like she was eating food and then randomly she just start bleeding out her mouth and throwing up fucking glass shards and shit.
Police arrive to find Tim standing over Kaylee's body exactly like they found him years earlier with his parents. Once again, he's blamed for murders that he didn't commit and is taken back into custody, while the mirror remains untouched, ready to claim another family. After finally escaping one nightmare, Tim ends up condemned to relive it all over again. False reality. Some horror movie fates end with the victim losing their life. Others end with them discovering that they never truly had one to begin with. In The Empty Man, former detective James Lasombra investigates the mysterious disappearance of a teenage girl, leading him down a rabbit hole involving a secret cult and an ancient supernatural entity known as the Empty Man. As James uncovers increasingly disturbing clues, he realizes reality itself isn't what it seems. The horrifying truth is that James was never a real person at all.
I found Amanda.
I'm sorry, who is this?
He's a tulpa, a human being manifested by the cult's collective thoughts,
You're our tulpa, our empty man.
created solely to become the Empty Man's next vessel.
We made you as a group.
Every memory, relationship, and experience he believed defined his life was fabricated. By the film's conclusion, James has no choice but to accept his role, allowing the entity to possess him completely. Rather than escaping the nightmare, he loses his identity and very existence, becoming nothing more than a shell for an ancient evil. It's one of horror's most unsettling endings because James doesn't simply die. He discovers he was never truly alive in the first place.
It's a lot of movies. What the hell? It's a lot of movies like that where it's just like the last one I seen like that was The Companionship, where it's like if you never seen it, it's a man who orders essentially a X-bot. You know what I'm saying, one of those AI women that you can do anything with, horny dude. But yeah, and then ultimately they went on a cabin trip to use the X-bot to, you know what I'm saying, kill one of his friends who's a millionaire so they can blame it on the bot and then run away with his money. Ultimately, they discover that he tells the X-bot that nothing that they've experienced was real, but the X-bot never knew up until that point that she was like a AI companionship like bot essentially.
Defying deaths. And then there are fates so disturbing that death would almost be a mercy. In The Human Centipede, 2 American tourists become stranded in Germany after the car breaks down.
I knew this shit was the Human Centipede, and this is one of the movies I will never watch. This about as far this because I never I know about the Human Centipede. Like everybody talks about it as one of the most grotesque movies to ever be created. And once I discovered the concept of it, gang, I'm okay. I'm okay. I don't think I need to see this. Like certain movies you want to see and you want, like, you know, it's traumatic and you want to put yourself through that experience, but seeing people, you know what I'm saying, their heads shoved at other people's asses and all that, I don't think my body is I don't think I'll ever be prepared for that.
Home of retired surgeon Dr. Hyder. What begins as a search for help quickly turns into one of horror's most infamous nightmares. Obsessed with creating a living human centipede, Hyder surgically connects 3 victims together, forcing each person to survive by consuming the waste of the one in front of them. By the film's conclusion, Hyder is dead, and the front victim, Katsuro, has ended his own life. Meanwhile, the rear victim, Jenny, tragically succumbs to a severe infection. This leaves Lindsay, who is positioned in the very middle of the centipede, as the sole survivor. Completely unable to free herself, Lindsay is left permanently stitched between 2 rotting corpses. With no immediate hope of rescue, Lindsay's weeping echoes through the empty house.
That's the worst fucking way to go out. You know, that's the worst. And then you're the one in the middle. So I'm saying, so like you got to spend the rest of your living years. We don't know how long that is, but the rest of your living years with your face in an ass and an ass in your face. Okay. This one was a little, I liked it. It was cool. It's your boy RushMoreRick. If you enjoyed this reaction video at any point, leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. We want to roll to 500 subs. I'll see y'all in the next video. This shit was insane.